Hello everyone, today we're going to make an off-shoulder top with flared pants. Alright, we're going to draft this sleeve really quick. This is like super easy. So, take a measurement of your arm circumference, the top of your arm. That is where this part, because that's where it's going to fall. Right about there. So, do that, take that measurement, whatever that measurement is, add a 1/2 inch just for the seam allowance. Okay, so then draw that in a straight line. So for me, it was 12 inches around. So I'm going to add 1/2 inch for the seam allowance. So I'm going to mark that at the beginning of the ruler and then add 12.5 inches. Then I want the sleeve to fall down, so I'm measuring again from that upper part of the arm, starting there, and I'm going to measure down, and I want mine to measure at 11 inches long. Some people may want theirs longer or shorter, but I'm going to mark it 11.5 just for the hem, purposes of the hem. So, connect those lines. This is the length. Make a complete square. Okay, we're just going to mark where the top of it is, and we're going to go ahead and cut it out. Okay, after we cut the sleeve out, we're going to go ahead and just fold it in half. And then once we fold it in half, we're going to fold it in half again. We're going to fold it in half until it is complete. And then we're going to take our scissors and snip like maybe 1/2 inch or a little less from the top all the way up each place, each fold. I'm just going to take a little tape and go ahead and tape the entire panel that I just cut up and tape it down so that it won't move, so that it's stable. And then we're going to start spreading each panel open to make a fuller sleeve. And we still have our great measurement at the top. So next, we're just going to trace this, because this is going to be our new sleeve measurement pattern piece for the sleeve. Okay, then we're gonna just go ahead and trace around it and peel, the old pieces up, and then we are going to take our rulers and make the measurements straight and even, and then we're gonna cut it out, and we have our sleeve pattern. The pattern on the fabric and go ahead and cut it out. Okay, so let's make the top. What we're going to do is take your tape measure and measure right around your chest, right above your bosom. And whatever that measurement is, if you have enough fabric, you can take that measurement and double it. If not, just add 10 to 12 inches because it's going to be gathered anyway. Mine was 33 inches across, and so I'm just going to add an extra 12 to 15 inches because I don't have enough fabric. And I'm going to gather it anyway. So decide what length you want it to be. Measure down from the top of your chest, right above your bosom, down how far you want the top to go. So you have two measurements. You have to do around your waist, and then you have to do how long you want it to go. So then we're going to cut that out in a rectangle and cut it out. Pin up all your pieces and then sew the sides together. Okay, our next step, since we have sewn the top together, is to add our elastic to the top. So what we're going to do is grab the top, open that seam up and fold it down so that it won't bulk. And we're going to make enough room for the elastic right at the top. So we're going to create the tunnel. So fold it over, pin it, make sure there's enough room for the elastic. And then I pinned all the way around this top part. However, I'll put 2 pins there to remind me to stop there. So I'm going to sew all the way around and then stop there. And that's where I'm going to go ahead and fish my elastic through. To get your elastic measurement, just grab your tape measure and measure around your chest. And then you are going to probably subtract 1 inch because I'm going to use a 1/2 inch elastic. And so I want it to be, because it has a good stretch to it, I'm going to just have it 1 inch less. Fish the elastic through the tunnel that you made using a safety pin. Okay. Once the elastic is in there, stretch it out and then go ahead and close the opening we left open for the elastic and sew right in between there. Okay, so I've hemmed the bottom of the top and the bottom of the sleeve. So now I'm going to go ahead and connect the sleeves to the top. So what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and find the side seam, and then I'm going to match the seams, pin it, and then just sew about 2 inches out both ways to connect the sleeve from the hem. So 2 inches on the front end of the sleeve and 2 inches behind the sleeve. So approximately 4 inches all the way across, connecting the sleeve to the side of the top. Oh, and another tip, if sometimes elastic tends to twist and turn. So what I did is I did a little bitty stitching right there at the top to stop that, to alleviate that. Hello everybody. All right, to make our flare pants, we're going to grab a pair of pants that fit us well, and these are stretch pants. So I'm just going to trace these and then we're going to make the flare part right after. So this is the front end, the front side of the pants, and I have them folded in half where the crotch is out. So just trace it. And I'm not going to add seam allowance because I'm working with a stretch material. So because these pants are, I want them to be a little longer than these actually are, I'm going to measure down from the inseam, which is that point in the crotch, down how long I want them to be. So I'm going to mark that at the bottom and then extend it down. And if it's too long, I can always cut it shorter. I know that on me, my knee from the waist is down about 24 inches on me. So whatever it is on you, measure how far your knee is from your waist and fold the pant up. Or if you know where the knee falls in the pants, put the pants on and mark where your knee is. Fold the pants up, and you know that this will be your knee marking. So put that there. Straighten out my measurements so that when I cut this out, it will be neat. Okay, then I'm just going to mark on my pattern that this is my front. And I am going to cut 2 of these for both my fronts. Once you have traced it, go ahead and mark your grain line, and you can go ahead and put whether it's the front or the back of the pants, and just put on your markings, your knee markings and everything. Just mark it so you'll know where each pattern piece goes. Alright, so I want these pants to flare at the bottom. So I've already marked my knee marking. So what I'm going to do is I want them to flare out 5 inches on each side. Now remember, this is a stretch material, so they're going to fall in once it's cut. So what I'm going to do is take my yard ruler, mark out 5 inches from the bottom. So I'm marking out 5 inches. I'm going to go to the other side. And I'm going to mark out 5 inches there also. Then I am going to connect those two down. So 5 inches out that way, 5 inches out that way. Connect that, okay? Then I am going to go up from the top where that is, and I'm going to angle it out, and I'm going to connect. Oops, let me take it all the way out. Okay. So then I'm going to go up to the top, take my yard ruler, place it on that knee line. Angle it out so it's hitting that bottom where I had 5 inches out. And then I am just going to and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And there you have your flare. And I have my flare pin. And if it's too long, I can always, shorten it. But I have my flare. So now, just going to cut it out. Alright. So for the back, I'm going to do the same thing I did for the front. And the reason I'm not cutting the back from the front piece is because I want the back. The back is going to be at least an inch or inch and a half longer than the front crotch. So that's why I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing all over again. Once I've straightened out all the lines that I made from tracing the back pants, part of the pants, I'm going to go ahead and grab the front piece, and I'm going to use it as a pattern piece to go ahead and make the flared part of the legs. And then I'm just going to trace the flare and then cut it out. Okay, lay one of your pattern pieces on a doubled over fabric and cut it out. Alright, next we're going to match our fronts and our backs to each other and pin it and sew from the crotch down, and then sew from that side on down, and then we're going to go ahead and connect it at the crotch. But right now we're just going to match these up. So this is a front, this is the back piece, matching it with the front piece. Don't mess up and sew two back pieces together. Alright, next step. So we've sewn the sides together. So now it's time to finish these pants up by getting the crotch together. So we're going to have one pant leg inside out and one right side out. So we're going to make sure you're matching the front. I have it marked in the inside, F for front, and this is my front on this one. Take it, just pull your arm inside and make sure you're still working with that front. Make sure I'm still working with that front. Okay. Take it, pull it up, and drop that pant leg right inside the other one so that the right sides are facing together. Match the seams up and then pin it all the way around. It's going to look like a horseshoe when you're finished. So now what we're going to do is, it looks like a little horseshoe. We are going to sew that entire little U in where we pinned it. Don't sew across the top because that'll be closing up the pants. You won't be able to get in them. Okay, so now that we've sewn that little horseshoe together, we're going to go ahead and pull the pants so that the right sides are out, and let's see how they look. But for the waistband, we're going to make a wide waistband, and because these pants are really fitted. So I'm going to take my waist measurement, and I am going to subtract 1 inch and then divide the answer by 2. So your waist measurement minus 1 inch, and then divide that answer by 2. And then mark it. Mark that, and then I am using an extra wide elastic. This elastic is about 3 inches wide. So I'm just going to mark, and then I'm going to put my elastic in there. Figure I want it, so I want the elastic to fit in there really nice and snug. So I'll probably give a little 1/2 inch at the top and a 1/2 inch out at the bottom. So I'm going to mark that there. So did it from a 1/2 inch from the first line, and then a 1/2 inch down. That's where I'm going to. So that is about 4 inches down, because the elastic is 3 inches, so I'm making it 4 inches. Then I am just going to mark where my 4th inch is over there. 4 inches is on the end. All right. Cut that out. And then I'm going to actually cut 4 pieces because we're going to double up the waistband. So cut out. Okay. Once that's done, I went ahead and I just cleaned up the sides with my overlock machine. And next, what we are going to do is match our seam allowances, right sides together. So get that right side together, pin it in place at the seam, and then pin it all the way across, pin it all the way across the top of it where you're pinning. And pin it all the way across this top. And go ahead, just sew the top of it together. Leave the bottom open. Okay, once the waistband is complete, turn it downward where the top is facing the bottom and slide it on. Put the pants through it. Match your seam and pin them in place. With the waistband, I am going to I left an opening in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and fish my elastic right through. I basically wrapped the elastic around my waist where it was nice and snug, and then put it through. Or you can just measure your waist with a tape measure and cut it from there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and okay, once the elastic is in there, go ahead and stitch it up. I'm going to do a zigzag stitch up and down. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull it in and then close up the hole. And we are done with this project. All right, till next time. Deuces.